Mister.
Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. Welcome to Season 2 of the FIA Nations Exhibition Race for the 2019/2020 season. And for this guide, which is for Round 1, we'll be using the Nissan Xanavi Nismo GTR. Let's get this started. For this first turn, you want to start to brake right after you pass the 100 meter mark. Brake in a straight line, and the moment you start to turn, which is around the 50 meter mark, that's when you ease off of the brake. Briefly accelerate, then take advantage of this curb right here. Straighten up the car before you start to fully accelerate. Take advantage of the curb again over here, and you'll be doing the same thing for the next turn. Make sure you start to brake before you start to pass the black billboards that are on the left. Once again, take advantage of the curbs, and I'm going to say that for the last time because this track, the track limits are pretty lax. So then for this turn right here, you want to start to brake right after the little gray curb on the left ends. Brake hard for a moment, and then you will trail brake your way into the apex, and then you will gradually accelerate. Bring yourself to the right, and then before the curb on the right ends, you want to brake for just a moment, bring yourself to the inside, and then start to fully accelerate. Try to get a nice tight clean line so you can maximize your car's potential. Bring yourself to the left, and then you want to start to brake when your car is right in the middle of the digital flag and the 50 meter sign that are on the left. Brake hard in a straight line, then ease off of the braking the moment you start to turn. Take advantage of the curb and the fact that the turn is banked so you can get a slightly better exit. Take these S's at full throttle, and then bring yourself to the left side of the track as you will start to brake before you reach the 50 meter mark. You'll be braking hard for just a moment and then trail brake quite a bit through this turn. You want to make sure that the car doesn't slide at all. Then right when the curb on the left ends, you want to trail brake a little bit more and then slowly start to accelerate. Then for the final turn, you want to start to brake before the curb on the right ends. Take advantage of the curb on the left before you start to slowly accelerate your way out, and we are good to go. Let's go ahead and talk about strategies. Alright, so when it comes to strategies, you'll eventually kind of pick up on a pattern where I start to mention about using two different tire compounds at once. As you see in the video here, I'm using the racing medium tires in the front and the racing hard tires in the back, and if you decide to go this route, you want to be careful, especially with the racing hard tires in the back of the car. The reason why I say that is because they're different grip levels, so they're not always going to be in agreement with each other. And when you're accelerating out of some of the more complicated turns, you can trigger the car to want to start to oversteer, and you really don't want that. So the best way to counter it is just to take a bit more time, be a bit more careful with inserting more throttle as you exit the turn. So now when it comes to the strategies, the one that I was mentioning right now is the option number 1, where you start with racing medium tires in the front, hard tires in the back, just to get the racing hard tires out of the way as soon as you can. Then pit at the end of lap 3 for racing medium tires, and then pit at the end of lap 9 for a new set of racing medium tires, and you are good to go. There is a similar strategy where you basically do the same thing, except you only use one set of tires at a time. So you start with racing hard tires, then at the end of lap 3, you go with medium tires, then at the end of lap 9, go with medium tires again. You still have to be careful whenever you're using the racing hard tires, but it's just that it'll be a bit less confusing compared to using the medium and the hard tires at the same time. Now, something I need to mention before I go to the third strategy is that you are in Group 2 cars, so these cars require a lot of downforce, so they require air to be able to get through these turns as fast as they can. The problem starts when you're behind someone, because now you're getting dirty air, you're getting less air, and now your car doesn't have the downforce it needs to go through some of these turns at its best potential, And because of that, and especially when you're slowing down for turns, you're going to be scrubbing your tires a bit more, which is going to wear your tires out even faster. So whenever you're behind someone, you want to try to take care of your tires a lot more. You might want to consider slowing down just a little bit, and I mean just a little bit, because you don't want to slow down too much to where you make yourself a dangerous object for the ones behind you or around you. So with the strategies 1 and 2, you can see that I actually have quite a bit of tire life left, and I'm pinning it in this lap. So if there was someone in front of me, the extra buffer of tire life will be coming into use. So I'll still have some of the grip that I need to at least try to still be a bit in a competitive pace. But at the same time, I don't have to worry about the tire wear being so bad that I'm going to understeer or oversteer into a wall. So in this lap I end up pitting. There's still quite a bit of tire life remaining, but it's just a buffer. So in case if I need it, it'll be there. And on that note, I'll quickly mention the strategy number 3, which is to start on racing medium tires, and then at the end of lap 8, go out on racing hard tires. This one can be interchanged, but this is a strategy that I don't recommend, just because especially your racing medium tires, they'll be pretty worn out if you go 8 laps with them, and if you're behind someone, then all that tire scrubbing from the lack of downforce to make the turns, it's going to make your tires squeal a lot and cry. And that's pretty much it for the tire strategy. As for the fuel, don't worry about it. You have more than enough fuel to complete the race without having to even think about it a single time. But anyways, that is pretty much it for the guide. I hope you all found it useful. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Non-commentary version is coming up, so this is Mr. MCA wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.